Hi everyone, it's Karen. Thanks for coming back. Yesterday I did a lot of shopping and I was in Michael's with a friend of mine and we came across these Hexagon frames. Well, actually, like exactly like this. And one was bigger and then there was a smaller one. And I think it was 24 for the big one and in the teens, like, I don't know, like $15 maybe for the little one. So of course I had them in my carriage because I like them. But we got to the front of Michael's and I came across these ones. Now they weren't as deep. They were probably double. But they were $1. And the other ones were so much money. But I remembered that I have this mirror that I got at the Dollar Tree. So I thought, well, maybe we can combine them all together. So I took 2 of these and I popped the back off of one and then I cut it right down the middle and then I stained it with my folk art, what's it called? Antique wax. And then I put the flowers in and the greens or whatever, but I just put this half of the backing on and I love it. So I said, all right, well, let's make some. So yeah, let's make some. I don't know where my wire cutters are, so these are kind of hanging on there. I did put some flower, this foam that's supposed to be for real flowers, but we use it the other way. And I just kind of been gluing it, and I can yank them out, for the different seasons and whatnot. So, yeah, so I already popped the back off, and we could probably do it again, but definitely score around the inside. You want to score right to the edges because this wood is so thin. It's like a piece of paper. And so you don't want to crack it because if you don't crack it, you can get 2 out of one backing because it's cut down the middle. So anyway, let's get started and I will try and pop this off without wrecking it. You also have to pull off the backing, which also has, it's like it weighs 50 pounds. And I can't even get this one off. They're really hard to get off. And I used a putty knife and stuff, and that did help, but, oh, there you go. So really all it does is break the rope, and then you have to go in there with the putty knife and cut it off. But let's see if we can take the back off of another one. So I bought this one. And I have like a million blades, but sometimes you just want one that's going to be really sharp for you. So anyway, just kind of go in here. I hope you guys can see. And you're just going to cut that seam because it's just glued. And I did pop one off the first time without doing this, and it came off, but half of it broke. And so just kind of go around. And I stained everything first before I glued it and stuff so that the stain would stick to everything, and the glue, if it dripped, I didn't want it to not be able to be stained. All right, I think that should do it. And then you're just going to take your thumbs and just gently go around carefully. This one's not working well. Well, I guess it's slowly going. But you want to just make sure that your thumbs are right in on the corners there, right on the edge. And keep going. Ow. And you might find that you might want to just get in there with your knife again just to make sure, just so you won't crack it. And it might just crack anyway, like without you even trying it. So it is coming. This one corner. It just doesn't want to play right. But I don't know if anyone has saw my video from yesterday, but I was shocked and amazed at my Dollar Tree. Because the day before that, my son and I begged him to come with me. We went to one in another town that usually has stuff, and they did. I was able to get like one vase, but not the vases I need for my daughter's baby shower. And it just didn't have a lot. So then we found another one that was like 8 minutes up the road. So we went there, and it was kind of the same. And in my town here in Massachusetts, we have a really big Dollar Tree or $1.25 store compared to these other ones. And these other ones just seem to have all the good stuff before we do. So, much to my amazement, when I walked in, okay, see, so I did crack it, which is not a big deal because you still have to use. So let me get rid of that. When they were taking over, like, part of the candy aisle, which I wasn't very happy about that, but if I had to choose, I would say I'd rather a big crafting aisle. Okay, then you're just going to go from this middle part of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what is that? Not an octagon, a pentagon? I don't know what 5 is, but that's what we have. And so you're just going to go from point to point. And don't push down really hard. It's better to go a million times over it than to try and do it all at once. And it would help if I had glasses. I pretend that I'm not blind and I don't wear them. And then I just suffer for it. So you're just going to keep dragging it over. It would help if I didn't have slippery parchment paper down, but I didn't want to get the wax on my nice new mat that I've already wrapped. Oops. All right. Let's see. Let's do one across the back. And there's definitely a back and a front, and you'll see that when you pop your thing off. But, yes, so they're taking over a whole, like, candy aisle, and they're making it a bigger craft aisle. And, oh, my God. So I said to the manager who happened to be standing there, I said, oh, can I videotape this? And she said, sure. And, of course, the second I said that, there was nobody in that store. And the second I asked if I can videotape is the second that everyone is now lurking around that aisle. And I was like, ugh. And it is weird to just start talking. And my friend was there, but I don't know where she was at the time. She wasn't helping me. So, anyway. Oh, there we go. Okay, see, so we're able to get to, the only problem is, you know, and you can use wood putty, but because we're sanding it, you might want to use that piece only if you are going to paint. If you paint, you're good. So anyway, they had all these new things like ABC stickers and like every color of the rainbow. And it was just amazing. So she said, well, don't come on Saturday. And I'm like, why? What's happening on Saturday? And she just said, oh, no, nothing. It's just we're getting a big shipment. I said, a big shipment? That's incredible. All right. So, of course, now I'm going to go on Saturday to see what they have. Oh, another great thing I found, and you probably already have these, but these screwdrivers come in like a million sizes. And the best part is, Gunner, leave her alone. I gave them both a bone so they would just behave, and he can eat his 20 times faster than her. But what I was going to say is you just hold on to this yellow piece and the screwdriver turns, so you don't have to twist your arm in a million different contorted ways. You just hold on to your little yellow. Gunner, back away from her or you're going in timeout. I think she also like doesn't start eating it until he's done. And I think she just likes to torture the poor thing. All right, and this is what I had to do, is to get in there. Oh, this one was easy. And they're just these little, like, U-shaped little things. And that is a technical term for that. And usually one works great and the other one you're like seriously gonna damage things trying to get it out. So back to the Dollar Tree. Oh, and you know what else happened? There was no carriages in the store, which was ridiculous because there were also no customers in the store. And we went outside and we couldn't find any. And all of the little places where you drop it back off were empty. So there was a woman cashing out and she had like 3 little bouquets of flowers. Well, not even bouquets, 3 stems of flowers. And I said, oh, could I grab your cart? And she said, oh, no, I'm using it. I said, oh, no, I know. After you check out, I mean, I wasn't going to whip it out from underneath you. And she says, oh, no, excuse me. She said, I'm going to use it. And I said, she said, to get to my car. Which, if she was buying like soda and who else knows what, I get that. But she had like nothing. So I was a little irritated. My friend was like, stop, don't cause a scene. And I'm like, listen, I'm not causing a scene. I'm just telling you it's ridiculous. This woman knew that everyone was trying to find a carriage and she had to take hers out to her car to carry her flowers. All right, here we go. I don't exactly know where that went. All right, so after you do that, we need to sand it because it's very sharp and you get half pieces of wood. So this is the hard part. Gunner, I'm listening to you. You're going to be in trouble. They're just like little kids, like when you get on the phone and that's when your kid needs to tell you the most important thing in the world. That's what my dogs are. And you have to get this flat because if you don't, you can't, these pieces don't add up. And another thing, you don't have to go this deep. You can use it just the way it is and just not go deep. I just wanted to go deep to put more flowers in. But you don't have to in the least. And of course, this one is like the worst. Let me see if I can. How off that. Yeah, see, that's a mess. Oh, boy. So that was my trip to Dollar Tree. I'm trying to think of something fun else that I found there, but my finds at my Dollar Tree are like everybody else has had them for years. So, except for, and I just want to show you these again, the metal ribbon. Okay, so it's metal, and this one is the one I love. It's got like leaves that go down, and it's like perfect. Like you could even go around this. This would look really cool. And, oh, I might know what our next project is. And then there was this kind, which I haven't opened. I'll just stop what I'm doing just to, I might have ADD maybe, I don't know. I love these little wire ties or whatever they're called, but they are tough to cut. There you go. Ooh. So this one, it kind of has like flowers to it. I don't know if you can see that. And then the last one is another one that's all taped up. This one has little holes in it. And it does that. Aren't they beautiful? And you could like put paint on top and sand it off. Oh, there's so much you can do. so much. All right, we're back to sanding. Trying to peel off this hunk of wood. All right, we might have to leave it for now. And let's try a new piece of sandpaper. This is a 240, in case you're wondering. Ooh, there you go. And before you do stain it, you want to kind of go around it and, you know, check on the other side if there's dings and, you know, basically when you're getting a project ready. All right, we're going to leave that for now. And then we will get rid of this mess. And I do have one of those little vacuums, but mine is from We Are Memory Keepers. And yeah, it's buried in my craft room because it's a craft room. All right, so next thing we're going to do is we are going to stain it all. And I do it with a baby wipe. And have never had a problem. And it's always come out great. So what I usually do is just kind of tip it upside down to fill the cap. And then I just work out of the cap. So it also helps if you kind of are neat about it by folding it. It just seems to be easier to work with. And I like to just glop it on. And then when I feel like there's enough or none really left on the baby wipe, I go back and drag it off the first ones. And I do love this wax rather than the stain. I did buy some stain that's water-based, and I do like it. I just hate the color. It's like, it was supposed to be like golden oak, but it's like a horrible reddish brown. I don't know. It's just not good. So I recommend if you want like a darker brown or even a lighter brown, because you see how light that can be? It just depends on what you like. And the more you play with it, the more you see what you like. And I was had full intentions of wearing gloves, because the other one that I made today, my hands, I had to wash them forever. Because in between this, I am working on the centerpieces for the baby shower. So I was out using some of that spray-on, what do you call it when it makes it, frost, like so that you can't really see through it. Because I hate when you make an arrangement and you put flowers in it, then all you do is stare at those stems that show through the vase. I don't like that. And I'm sure that I'll still see through it, but it's just not going to be as bad as if it were clear. And my reason for going to, you know, the 3 different Dollar Trees, and I could have gone to another one, but I felt like I had done enough damage. Oh, this was broken. It's because I have 7 vases that match. My daughter threw me a 30th birthday party a couple of years ago, and she had bought a bunch of vases, and she filled them with rocks, and she said, it's, you know, the little tag on it that said 50 rocks, like, 30 rocks. But, and it was cute, but I could only find 7, and I just thought that was like a string, like, why would you buy 7 vases and not 8 or 6? So she has no recollection of anything she bought back then. So I said, all right, whatever. So going to all those different Dollar Trees, none of them have it. And I was putting it off and putting it off, like about ordering it online, because you have to buy a case of them. But I said, oh, we're getting close to the shower, and what if, you know, I can't get them in time because I ordered them too late because I was hoping, you know, to get them at a different store. So I gave up all hope of that, and I ordered them yesterday. So sadly, I'll have extra vases. Which, you know, you never know. There's always a baby to be born, a bride to get married. My son is getting married next year. And so we'll have more stuff to do for that wedding. Although being the mother-in-law, I'm not sure how much they'll allow me to participate. But she did ask me to do the flowers for the wedding, so I am excited about that. Okay, so these are all, oh, I forgot our little pocket guy. Now this definitely splinters. It is thinner than basswood, like it is thin. And I probably could have, you know, traced it and made myself a, you know, a bigger piece of wood. Not a bigger, a thicker, which I might do for my next one. But, you know, you live and you learn. And the flowers that I'm going to be using are from Solar Flowers. And if you've never seen them, they are amazing. They're beautiful. You can dye them yourself. You can use regular acrylic paint to dye them. They sell the dye, and you can use, oh, what's it called? Glycerin. You can put glycerin in them so that they stay movable. They're not stiff after you dye them. So you can do that, but and you can also, like, they sell fragrances, but I'm sure you could just use essential oil and they'd be good. Okay, so you also want to go all the way around the rim. You don't have to do the back and the front. I just did it. And then just going to take a lot of this off and make sure everything kind of looks the same, roughly. And it all looks good. All right, so, so let's just try and take at least a couple of layers off here. So I also cannot find my wire cutters. So you will see me totally wrecking a couple of pairs of scissors trying to cut wire. I don't know where they are. Well, you know, how could you? I apparently have a couple of craft rooms going on here, and I don't know where anything is. And I hired a girl to come and help me, and she's amazing. But it's just not going to get done for the shower, and I just have so much to do. All right, well, while we're letting that dry just a bit so that we can glue it, we can look at the flowers. So I used in this one some greens, and even though they're the same flowers, some are flat and some are not. So, you know, grab a couple and see how they look. And I think I will use some of these and take out more than you, you know, that you want to use, just so you can fit them in the way you want. So I'll get a couple of those style and make sure before I open it, see if it's a different kind. Oh, those are the same. And then grab any kind of filler that you might have. I got these at Michael's on a sale, and they were practically nothing. This was at Michael's. That was a little bit more. I got the Greenery that I'm going to use, which is this boxwood. I got in a big clump, like this big, from Hobby Lobby. And I also brought in some lamb's ear, but I think it's going to be too big to put in that little space. Oh, we don't need this many. So let's use those. I also have some blue, but I didn't use blue in this one. So, but I did use peach. Where are you, peach? All right, well, we'll use her later when we find her. All right, so let's get some wires out. And I don't even know what gauge these are. They're not real thick, and they should cut with my handy-dandy scissors, I'm reckoning. And you don't need them very long because it's a very short space that you're going with. So just cut yourself a bunch. Excuse me. Thank you. So when you get a bunch, you can, there's a lot of ways to do this. You can just shove it in the back. If this part comes really far out, you can cut this back. Just don't cut where they're stitched. And another thing you guys should try is you can order just the wood, and you can make your own flowers. That's a fun thing to do. Just a lot of excitement. I don't know what happened to my pink or my peach or whatever color that is. Huh. All right, well, we'll work without her for a bit. All right, so all you want to do is, I just kind of stick it in this hole, get a little glue on it, and stick it in the back. You don't want it to come all the way through, so just make sure your finger stays right on the top. And then just keep going. And again, right through the middle. And you can tell when you're getting close, you'll feel it. But I really highly recommend these flowers. And they're all, like right now, I don't know when it ends though, they're having a 70% off sale on their flowers. I mean, you can get a pack of 10 for like $4, $2. It depends on the size. I think they start for the size, I think they start at 1.5 inches, and then you can get 2 inches, 2.5, 3, and I think there are some bigger ones also. But yeah, they're fantastic. Okay, now before we go any further, I am going to glue my pieces together so that I want to find that bumpy one. You're in the back, pal. So then we will, I think it matters which way it goes, but all right. So I love Gorilla Glue. Everybody says, oh, you want the quick hold with the glue gun, and I never had a problem, but now I'm nervous because, you know, I just told you that. Apparently we have caked over. So now I might have to just use my glue gun just so that you can't tell me we told you so. So we'll just use a little glue. Oh, I forgot which one is broken. This one. Let me try and get some glue in there. I'll fix it later. We don't have time for my issues. I have a couple of different tip sizes for this. I just keep getting to use them. This way. And when you do this, you want to hold it together tight because of the glue gun, because that definitely makes a mess if it oozes out. So then after you do that, you want to get all of the wood glue off. So just kind of, it's mostly just important on the front, you know, the outside. But if you see a glob on the inside, take the minute and just clean it out. I hope you guys aren't too close. Well, I guess I'll find out in the comments if I was, and I apologize. All right, so then the last thing we have to do, I want to find, okay, where the holes are for hanging it up. And then make sure that, you know, this side with all the mess is the underside. And then you just need glue on these 3 sides. And we'll just add a little bit. But normally when I do it without the glue gun, I would just put something like the glue bottle on top of it for a minute, and have never had a problem with doing it that way. I just burned my hand, if anybody just saw me jump a million miles. And you should always have some ice water at your table. And I do not, but I guess I'm a glutton for punishment. And there we go. All right. So we are at this point, and I'm looking at this going, what is the problem? The problem is I don't have a back on it. I was showing you what I was doing, and okay, leave the back on one of these. Because this is what you would normally have when you leave a back, but I'll add it afterwards. Sorry about that. I just couldn't figure out why it looks so funny. Now we know. All right, so we are going to take our little foamy stuff, and although you can put all this stuff in much easier when there's no back on it. All right, so just stick it in random pieces so that it will, you can cut it in half, and you want to just get enough that if you need to shove something in on a wire, you absolutely can without a problem. And I might have to glue this in because normally there would be a back. Lord have mercy, what is wrong with me? All right, so let me just use this to push against while we put the flowers on. All right, so after you do all that fun stuff, you're going to take your flowers, and again, use whatever colors you like, however many you like, as full as you like, and you just, if you're doing 2 side by side, and I actually think I might do 3. We'll have to see. The other thing too, you're not going to see them, but if you like the green on it, you can use the floral tape to stick them on. And I don't know if you all know how to use this, but you yank off a chunk. You want to give it a pull, and that makes it sticky. And once you get it sticky, you're just going to wrap it all the way down. Pull a little bit as you go, again, to keep it sticky. And then once it gets going, it just wraps around, and you have no problems. And it looks like that. So another thing you could do, you can glue your stems into your foam if you want. But since I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing, I'm going to leave it. And then you're just going to kind of stick them in where you feel that you enjoy seeing them. Oops, come back. And I would stick a pink one in, and I will when I can find it. So you basically, I mean, not pink, rose. No, I guess it is. There's 2 pinks in there and no pinks in here. So once you get your flowers in and your back on so that your flowers stay, you want to stick some greens in. Sometimes I use the greens first just so that, you know what, I'm just going to glue this on with the glue gun just so it'll hang on to it. And I'll just stain it afterwards. There we go. All right. So now you can kind of feel where you're going and stick it all in. You can do the greens first, and I do that. It just depends on, I guess, I don't know, what you're feeling that day, what you're not feeling. So you're just going to kind of play with it, fill it as best you can. Might as well stick that in there. And it's not this difficult. It is when you don't have a back on and you have to kind of stick them in. So just stick some flowers in, and then you're going to go to your greens. Again, depending upon which you want to use. You can put wires in these if you want. I like to give myself a pretty good sized stem so that you can stick it in there and kind of be able to squish it around wherever you want. Put a little glue there. So for my daughter's shower, we're having a big candy table. And I just only bought candy that is white and blue and a little bit of green because it is a golf-themed baby shower. Let's stick this in there. You can also, like, tighten them on the front so that you know they're going to stay hanging out. And so I just bought more. I bought some AstroTurf squares to put in the middle of the tables. And then I got these little golf carts. They're so cute. So I'm going to paint. The golf carts also came with little flags that are red. And I'm going to paint those blue. And then we know the baby's name, but nobody else does. So everything I'm making has been baby, baby Dean. That's the last name is Dean. So we might have to go back after he's born and start putting his name on everything. But basically, that is what you're looking at. And you can see with the pink, it's gonna brighten it up a lot. But to say that these were, I don't know, like $18, and to be able to make them for maybe under $5, because the flowers, I always buy them on sale. So let's just go ahead and say $5 each. So I still was able to make 2 for less than the price to get 1. So I highly recommend this. And then the other thing I'm thinking is I might just paint this brown and see. It's plastic, so I guess I could put some Mod Podge on it and then stain it so it'll be the same color. But yeah, so I think they're just adorable. And I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys leave the back on the second frame and don't take it out. I will put a pink flower there. And this is what they look like. So, thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Trying to get out a couple of videos a week. I bought myself a big whiteboard with a calendar on it. And I'm going to figure out what days are good. I'm going to try and do 2 days a week. It would be hard getting closer to the shower, which is, I'm getting a haircut too, by the way, which is closer. The shower is on the 10th of April. They're moving in here on the 31st of March. I don't know how I'm keeping all this from her. Maybe I'll put it all in my other craft room. I mean, my only craft room. This is not a craft room. I don't know what my husband's talking about. But thank you all. I really appreciate you coming by. And I'm going to show you this on my wall when I get it all done. So have a great afternoon, and I will see you soon. Bye.